So I'm Rob Linden. I'm a Holy Fire Reiki master. And a question that I get asked quite frequently is what makes Holy Fire Reiki different from normal Reiki? People want to know that understandably, because if I'm offering something different, then why should they look at Holy Fire Reiki when they're used to Reiki that they may have been doing for years? So that's one of the things I want to talk to you about today. And as part of my journey as a Reiki master, I've come across quite a number of different types of Reiki. And if somebody asked me a question about one of these other types of Reiki, i.e. what is it makes that different from the standard Holy Usui Reiki, then what I would say is that perhaps the energy feels a bit stronger, perhaps it's a higher frequency of energy, but that's about as far as it would go. But with Holy Fire Reiki, then the differences are a little bit more complex. And that's what I want to explain to you today, how Holy Fire Reiki does actually differ from Usui Reiki and other types of Reiki as well, which many of us have used for years and love dearly as well. So introducing the first idea, which makes Holy Fire Reiki different, is the fact that a Holy Fire Reiki master can do Reiki for a group of people simultaneously. The way of doing this is called a Holy Fire Reiki experience. And the way in which a Holy Fire Reiki experience works is that everybody that's in the room when I'm doing the Holy Fire experience will receive Reiki if they want to do so. The process of doing this is very, very simple. We follow a standard process, which is to do a guided meditation and then followed by the energy coming down to all within the group, and that includes the Holy Fire Reiki master as well. And so this is a wonderful way of experiencing Reiki, and I do these experiences for groups of people on a regular basis. And what I find is this is a really nice way for people to experience Reiki for the first time. But don't be deceived, because it's a very simple process and because a whole group of people can receive Reiki at the same time, it doesn't mean that it's any less powerful than normal Reiki. And I've seen huge shifts occur with people when they receive Reiki through experiences. And if I compare a Holy Fire Reiki experience with a normal one-to-one Reiki session, the traditional sort of Reiki that you'd receive if you came in as a paying client, then I see the experiences as being no less powerful than it would be a normal Reiki session. And I've seen huge shifts with people following just a single Holy Fire Reiki experience. So they're definitely a good way of experiencing Reiki and a powerful way as well, despite them being so simple in nature and so easy to deliver. So that's one key difference between Usui Reiki and Holy Fire Reiki. Another difference is that when I'm doing an experience for people, then the Reiki energy comes directly from source. So it's coming down to the group from source, rather than Reiki energy flowing through me as an individual, which again is a subtle but important difference. And one of the things that means is that the energy that's coming to all of the people in the group, it's the purest kind of energy that they can receive. It's the cleanest energy, and it's the energy that's pitched at exactly the right level for those individuals. Okay, so that really kind of sums up the idea of Holy Fire Reiki experiences. Another difference is the way in which a Reiki attunement works. Now, if you're familiar with Reiki, if you already have Reiki in your life, you'll know exactly what an attunement is. But if you don't, then you might wonder what is an attunement. And from that perspective, just a brief introduction to what an attunement is. If you imagine an old-fashioned radio set, the type of thing where you've got a dial that you turn or a knob that you turn round and the dial goes across, and eventually you come to a station, and when you do, then you've tuned in to that station and you can hear that clearly on the radio. Well, a Reiki attunement kind of follows the same kind of principle. Reiki energy surrounds us at all times, and it's not until we're actually attuned to it in the same way that you tune a radio in that we suddenly can tap into this energy that we can use for healing and helping people. So that's what an attunement is. And when you learn Reiki for the first time, then you receive this attunement process. Okay. So again, the traditional way in which this works within a Usui Reiki attunement process is that the Reiki master will go to you as an individual and they perform the process, and then they go to the next person in the class and then the next person and so on. But with the Holy Fire Reiki, it's possible to perform an attunement in the same way that we do with experiences. So a whole group of people in a room can have that attunement process done at the same time. And in actual fact, with Holy Fire Reiki, it's called a placement rather than it being an attunement. But the same end goal is achieved, that the people within that room will be attuned to, let's say, Reiki level 1. So it's still Usui Reiki, but it's delivered via the Holy Fire Reiki mechanism. Okay, so that's how that process works. The same process works not just for Reiki level 1, but Reiki level 2, and then the Reiki master level as well. And again, the important factor which differentiates it is rather than the energy passing through the Holy Fire Reiki Master, then the energy comes directly from source to everybody that's in that room, and they receive that simultaneously. And in the same way that you've got the benefits from the experience, i.e. that the energy is pure because it's coming directly from source rather than through the Reiki Master, then that's also true for the placement process too, of the attunement process. Okay, so that's the attunement process, which is again slightly different from the traditional way of doing the attunements. Maybe a brief mention about at the Holy Fire Reiki Master level, there is yet another process. These are called ignitions. But again, think about the ignitions working on exactly the same sort of principle as experiences and also as placements. Once that process has been kicked off, then the energy comes down directly from source to whoever's in the room or the group of students that are learning Holy Fire Reiki at the master level. That energy again comes directly from source so that they're getting the purest energy that they possibly can. And it's such a simple process. I've not really discussed this in any sort of depth, but the way in which the process works is that it starts off with a guided meditation, which is very brief, only 2 or 3 minutes, and that's really just to get the student in the right frame of mind to be able to relax them, ready to receive the energy. But then once the energy flows, then basically I go quiet as a Reiki master. I don't need to do anything else, I don't need to say anything else, and that energy is delivered directly from source. So incredibly simple, but at the same time very, very powerful. So again, another key difference. I'm going to mention briefly as well at the Holy Fire Reiki, the master level, that instead of there being just one placement, there are actually 4 separate ignitions that come through. So that gives you some idea of the energetic transformation that occurs when you become a Holy Fire Reiki master. And I think that's really important as well, because it really is a powerful healing modality that we can use and tap into. I think that really is the key differences between Usui Reiki and other types of Reiki and Holy Fire Reiki. But it's also important to mention as well that when you're doing Holy Fire Reiki, you can still use it in the traditional one-to-one way that you would do for any other kind of Reiki or for any other kind of healing modality like massage, for instance. So you can still use it in that traditional way, so it's still valuable from that perspective as well. What is useful is that you can start to couple Holy Fire experiences along with the traditional one-to-one method, so you can start off a treatment with a Holy Fire experience, which will be completely hands-off from the Reiki master perspective, but then move into the traditional one-to-one, which will create a very powerful combination of Reiki energy for your client. So that again is an interesting thing to think about. Anyway, so that basically is what I wanted to say to you today. If you found that of interest and you'd like to find out more, then please contact me. You'll be able to see the website address on the video as well, and my contact details. Please feel free to drop me a message and ask me any other questions. Thank you.